map set us to live?
I moved us to the up-to-date map. We don't have to stick here, but we should probably decide where we are on this up-to-date map.
Well, I don't know. This map is the all our information on our ships and our stations and whatnot, so.
Yeah, I know. But I feel like...
You did say Bridgeal Seas before, correct?
We did. I've been looking around the Bridgeal Seas, and the Bridgeal Seas seem to be surrounded by, like, pirates on every conceivable side. So it might be kind of a hostile place.
Some of those might be privateers.
Well, in any case, whatever you call them, they probably want to blow you up and take your shit. So
well, that's definitely true.
Well, it seems like it'd be more dangerous anywhere else where the Navy would be, or, any mercantile ships that have escorts or a crew experienced.
Let's take a look at our ship. How many guns do we have?
0.
Okay.
The other thing is that, speaking of exactly what you just said, that the likelihood of running into giant, slow, non-gunned merchant ships in the middle of super pirate-controlled waters, it seems like you probably wouldn't, and in the narrative you already had. So the Bridgeal Seas may not be the place.
What's more likely is either they lost their escort, which, is conceivable, or, they thought, hey, we're in a place, we've got a boat with a shallow draft, maybe we could pull this off.
I was more indicating that it seems better for us to be in pirate-infested waters than it would be.
And also, this was an emergency run to a colony to resupply it, right?
Yes.
Right. So it might just be that it's like, okay, guys, our colony needs guns. And of course, the Navy guy is saying, we're out of gunships. I don't have any gunships that I can send there. So why don't you put some guns on the ship and send that? Okay, you realize that when I say the word gun, there's cannon guns. And maybe they didn't know that. Hey, do we get paid if we sign off on this? Look, we get paid whether this goes or not. So I'm just going to sign off on it. Then I'll take out some extra insurance.
Just a 4-hour tour. Nothing extraordinary.
I mean, I can think of reasons why, this was an emergency run. Maybe they thought, look, if we do this fast and also we don't look that attractive and, or maybe our escort left because the escort went to go deal with something else. Maybe they got lost. We could check the ship log to see what happened to it. And when I say we, I mean the person who can read, I say, grabbing Gaston.
I suppose.
I mean, it might say something in there, it might not. Plus, there's also the possibility this might even be illegal. I mean, it might, gun running itself is strictly controlled by, taxes back home. So it might, I can think of all kinds of reasons. What I can think of is what luck. We managed to, we never would have taken this boat if it did have cannons. So hooray.
So I guess let's go ahead and start it up with the introductions and everything, and then we'll get into the reading. Sound good?
I guess. Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you for keeping us on task. Okay. Well, I'm Red. I'm going to be your game host. And as the host for today's game, I'm going to introduce these people, and we're also going to recap what happened last session. Last session was mostly a large fight on a boat. That's what you came here for, and that's what you got. The party of pirates met up with their latest member, Madame de Fresneau, who was tied to the mast of the ship that is now known as Lawson's Folly. Let's see, was there anything else of import? You guys managed to dispatch like a third to a half of the sailors that were manning the Lawson's Folly, including her ill-fated captain, Captain Lawson. The remaining crew, under the command of the first mate, I think his name was David, decided to abandon ship and Captain Cow allowed them the use of the longboats to make sure on Stonefinger Island, the place where you guys had initially uncovered this stash of guns. You guys, the Lawson's Folly was already was not harbored really, so you guys were able to kind of like steer her out into open water and drop anchor outside of the range of where these guys could get to her on their longboats, so that you could return and recapture her when you had a sufficient crew to man her correctly. You also, let's see, back on the shore, you guys got your other boat, the Righteous Indignation, underhand. You didn't have enough people on the shore to make off with all of the guns there, but you did grab as many as you could carry. So you got away with 4 more muskets and a case of steel shot. Anything else here? Daniel was the first mate, not David. Yeah. Okay. Decided to maneuver the Lawson's Folly to a nearby coral reef and anchor her there to return to collect her when they had earned a large enough crew to man her correctly. There we go. So yeah, that is basically where we're at. If we go a little bit further back and look at our goals, we completed one of them, which was to deal a ship, loot the cash that they had on this island, which you did that. And the other remaining goal was to recover Captain Merryweather's pendant, which apparently he lost on a nearby island in a village. Let's see. Yeah, and that's where we find ourselves, and we'll talk more about what our next steps are after I introduce the rest of the crew. We'll start with Theta, who is playing the captain.
I've already started making the jokes about calling myself Admiral Cow.
Right, sorry. Admiral.
Now that I'm developing a flotilla. Kangaroo Silat Warrior. Personality optimistic. Motto is, if I die trying, then at least I tried. Goal was already mentioned. I have a question. Is there any different rules for recovering from injury on a seabound ship?
The short answer is the book says a good meal and a good rest give you 1 point each. And if the game master says you're not getting a good rest because you're on a ship, then you're not getting good rest because you're on a ship. I would make you make rolls of body limited by your highest vehicles roll, but you're a sailor, right?
Yeah, I'm sailing.
Right. So when you're on a sailboat, there's no limit. So I mean that's one suggestion in the book to make them roll their body dice. Once again, this is for people who hate fun, and we all hate fun.
That's why I brought her up.
I
Gotta limit myself.
No one's a doctor this time, right?
Not at all.
Well, this is why I hire a doctor.
You're the only person with first aid I've met.
I don't have first aid.
Nobody has first aid.
Hell yeah.
I have a solution to your problem. It's very final, and I don't think you'll enjoy it.
Oh my. Alright, well, okay. We'll move over to our first mate over here. I don't know if you're technically the first mate, but it's Griffin.
Yeah, that's right. I'm Griffin, and I'm playing Gaston, the Ibis Marine and Warlock. He has a determined personality, and his motto is perfection incarnate. And I went ahead and increased my vehicle dice, because I'm going to be doing the rigging, because auspice stations are not just on every single boat.
Okay, alright then. Good thought. And we also have our battle crazy berserker. She's probably not that, but anyway, yes. Arcloyd, take it away.
Yes, I'm Ironclaw. I play Abla, the Kaimahui Kahatu Pernina. She's a her personality is stubborn, and her motto is chip away.
And last but not least, the newest member of the crew, who is also kind of a crazy Perenina. They're Tasmanian devils, right? That's the... Anyway.
They're Tasmanian devils. Yes, they are.
Okay. Well,
usually we don't. The people of Tasmania have asked us not to use that term. Plus, also, there's no Tasmania in this game.
fair enough. In that case, Perenina, pirate. What is your job, actually? I don't...
Well, hello. I am playing Madame de Frenot, and I am a Perenina Marine, aka
Pirate.
So, my personality is horrible, and my motto is liberty, equality, camaraderie. Because I'm here to strike a blow against colonialism.
Wonderful.
I'm staunchly anti-colonial, and I have the uncanny knack of having guns. No one's really sure where I get them from, but I keep getting them.
Always seems to have another gun stashed someplace.
I've got the guns trappings. It's like I just have, I have a nose for it, and I'm here to strike a blow against colonialism. So hopefully you guys aren't, and I've noticed you're not pro-colonial. So
Hey.
In fact, we've abandoned the colony specifically because we got bored of it.
there we go.
Yeah.
Result.
Okay. All right. I'm making little changes to this map over here. Did I drop you guys on the... Yes, I did drop you on the new map. So I'm trying to pick a spot on this map where our adventures can go down for right now. We've decided we're in the Bridgeal Seas. I like down kind of south here. Or maybe to the... Yeah, someplace where there's not already a lot of stuff. Okay. So I also grabbed a token. I'm using the purple cloak token only because purple will stand out somewhat on this background. And
Makes sense. You can also
the
just
most
like
color.
apply the name to it and make the name visible and just say it's like the ship.
The ship, yeah. If
Or
we
the
have,
party.
if someone can come up with a better token, I am more than open to it for right now. Let's just get something. C. Nameplate. We'll call it
I mean, there's always the classic boat.
the ship. We could use a boat token. I don't want something that's going to take up too much space that's visible in like a small size, but it could be that. Everybody control this. There you go. Save. All right. Oh, you put a boat out there. Okay.
That's why I was saying it.
We can do that too.
Could have sworn I had more boats, but I think it's my library is so old now. Some of them are deleted.
Just pages and pages of random images.
Yeah, well, I mean, a whole solar
Roll
system
20.
solar system of planets. In addition to, wow, oh right, all these numbered clocks I have in different varieties. In hex map tiles. I just know I've done adventures before where I put people on boats, so I know I had boats somewhere.
Boats are important.
Yeah. Now, obviously, people at home can't see this, but you guys were watching that video of Port Royale, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a good video, and Port Royale is a bit of a myth. The analog in this would be to basically Ferenther Island is the pirate haven. It's kind of like because Goldbeard has said, hey, if you're a pirate, come hang out with us. We've got guns. And possibly the only iron deposit in all of Ferenther Isles. So, yeah, that would be the spot to go hang out in. And let me see, where are we?
Well, we had started a made-up town that was
Yeah.
a failed colony. By the way,
Right.
When your mic is on, you pick up a lot of I don't know what you call it now. My mind is just leaving me.
Background noise.
Well, no, not background noise. When someone else is talking, you hear them through the other person.
Echo.
Yeah, I guess a lot of echo.
Oh yeah, I thought I had that. Well, I thought I had that turned down. I can't win today, guys.
Bringing it up as it comes up, that's all. Oh, yeah, no, it was just a failed colony that we had just made up on the spot and
Yeah,
given
I'm
it
just gonna throw
attributes.
some dots. This was one of my many regrets from our last campaign. Is we made up so many locations on the map, and I wrote down almost none of them on the map, and then we returned to them multiple times. They moved around all the time, so I'm gonna start dropping points on this thing as soon as we do stuff.
We didn't like the same.
You switched back to your old mic. You're not on the right mic again.
It's hard to hear.
I'm just going to stick behind the bucket of water.
I'm sorry. I do want to hear what you have to say. So. Unrelated, but I did
Can't hear
put
you.
scale on this map, so.
Yeah, no, I saw leagues.
Leagues. Leagues and leagues. We had figured out how many leagues was travel. Was I smart enough to write that down somewhere?
I mean, apparently a league is like 3 miles.
Yeah. But I mean, like, how... We had a whole conversation before about how far you could travel in a day.
I don't remember that.
Okay. We're going to keep going. Raph struggles with his technology. All right, so everybody's been introduced. We had the recap. You guys are afloat in the Bridgeal Seas.
Indeed. And I think the first thing we were planning to do was to check the logbook.
Yeah, the logbook on the Lawson's Folly. So here's what you can find. Let's see. All right. It would appear, based on the logs, that the Lawson's Folly, formerly named the Sea Cow, so it's probably kind of an upgrade of a name, was destined to travel. They actually were not that far from their destination, which is a small colony. Let's see, they were headed from the route to Calabria, so the colony would probably be down south here somewhere for it to make sense to sail through pirate-infested waters. And we'll call it... we'll put a dot down here.
The Power Brush is a township right over there. Makes sense.
Right. Okay, there's a dot. And what's a good name for a colony? Jamestown.
Vaslov Town.
Vaslov Town.
Roanoke.
Or to be Berg.
Am I back?
Yes.
Yes, you
Yeah.
are.
Okay. Richport's always a good name.
Is
I like
Vaslov
Bridgeport.
more
I think so.
German, French, or English?
It's Russian.
What would be the way to end a Russian town name then?
Because you got to remember that the Jacobas are from Gavoria,
Stock.
and Gavoria is based in Serbia.
There we go,
I mean-
Vaslovstock.
Yeah.
That's
But they would probably if it's
an awful name.
It-
I like it, but
Of
If
course
they're
it
conquering-
is.
if they're conquering in the name of the Rinaldi, they would have Italian names. but or they were naming them after saints because you can have like Santo Triptoli or
Well, I mean, also, despite what's going on in Calabria, aren't they predominantly a merchant family?
the yes, the Jacobas are rich.
Right, but I just mean that their wares are world renowned and sold in every country. So it's like, aren't they?
Well, that might also have to be that if you disparage the quality of their goods, they'll kill you in a way beyond imagining.
I'm not saying they can't be merchants of death, but it still makes them merchants.
Didn't imprison my immortal soul. 5 out of 5. You know, anything less than a 5-star rating, it's unacceptable.
The Yelp reviews are crueler than I am.
Yelp reviews. Is it really a bot army if it's your zombies?
You know,
5 out of 5 would again.
these are the ethical
The original.
dilemmas that computer scientists must face every day. What if the undead decide to use social media? It's already hard enough to figure out what happens to an account when someone dies and nobody knows. What happens when they get raised from the undead? You already deleted the account. What are you going to do?
Definitely something on the list was to include a random town generator. That's always the...
I was going to put one together, actually.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Václavgrad is also an option.
Oh, I'm
well, it wouldn't be,
That needs to be land-based so there can be a tank battle in Ironclaw's future. That's all.
Okay, let's see if we can... Everything reverted. What the... I'm angry at computers.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. So we'll get a random...
I know what I've done.
No, I was asking if anyone here played Assassin's Creed Black Flag, because, like, if you remember that game, there's, like, ridiculous amount of islands that have no names, like, all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine there would be. You don't want to necessarily name every island. Or even if you do, I'm sure there's plenty of people who don't know and don't care.
I mean, yeah. The real question is, because that video was great because it showed you that, like, pirates can go and upend a ship and then spend weeks or months trying to fix it, during which you pray nobody finds you.
Right, yeah. I think in the case of our recent adventure, Stonefinger Island is only named such in that it was a stash point for a merchant ship and they needed something to call it so that they could talk about it when they wanted to go reclaim their loot. So, yeah, it probably it's not named on the map, but according to the people who stashed the loot there, they call it Stonefinger Island because it looks like it's got a big stony finger on it.
And if you do your research, you're going to discover a great number of places were named exactly that way.
Yeah.
It's an island with a rock on it. Stonefinger number 57.
Every now and then someone points out, like, I went to go see the Plymouth Rock, and it's like, it's just a stupid little tiny thing. It's like, yeah, I'm sure it was like a bar bet when they started talking about it. So, Plymouth. Which town was Plymouth? The one with the rock. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We hadn't seen a rock for months at that point. It was.
No, do you remember
Ride these babies for miles.
You remember when you got really, really drunk and you weren't looking where you're going, you tripped over that rock, and it's like, and then just turned into a big story of, now it's on, ABC Saturday morning specials or whatever. Because nobody wants to talk about the time that you tripped over, they fell on the floor. I'm sorry, I was going to say some stuff that's just really, really dirty. So, yeah, no one talks about that.
No, they don't.
I mean, do they call you Gaston the Well Digger? Do they call you Gaston the Wall Builder? No.
All right.
Call me Gaston, the guy who decided to go ahead and face a cannon with a sword.
Yeah.
That's in the future.
Just call me Captain.
Okay, so, yes. As you're investigating what this ship actually has, we're going to talk about its current... So, stowage is like the cargo hold. It's how many tons it can carry? Or stowage is something different? Stowage as it's listed on this stat sheet.
I believe stowage is, in fact, how much it can carry.
Stowage is usually an appointment that says we can carry extra stuff. But cargo is how many tons of stuff you can carry.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm just looking at what I copied over from what Theta copied from the book. It says stowage 120. When I was looking at the
Yes,
cargo
which
hold,
means we have way more cargo capacity than other ships that don't have stowage.
got it. Okay, so when I was doing this, I was looking at the cargo capacity for this kind of ship, which was like a mid-range cargo ship, was like 10 tons, and then with super cargo, so that's times 3. So I was thinking like a 30-ton hold.
Oh no, those stack. So we've got stowage and super cargo. We have 120
Okay.
tons. You know what we don't have?
Gotcha.
Guns.
Right, don't have guns.
I mean,
All right.
so now if you're wondering, like, why don't you have any guns? Well, we can either have 10 tons of cargo and guns, or 120 tons of cargo and no guns. So once again, emergency colony ship. The fact that the ship isn't loaded to the gills kind of implies that either they were like in a real big hurry. The guys are just saying, we don't have any guns and we're not full. It's like, go, 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 they need you now. Or they had a bunch of stuff and they unloaded it earlier and we don't even know about it.
And it is 120 tons. I
120
just didn't put the word tons there because I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, this is
You remember the ship is based off of a cargo flute, and in the book, a cargo flute has 120-ton cargo.
Right, and the game design theory was carrots instead of sticks. Instead of saying you could sacrifice cargo for guns, ships start with no cargo at all, like barely any cargo at all, and then you can decide more guns or more cargo space. So we have, in fact, so stowage is just more cargo space. It's just more at all. Super cargo, I thought, had a special rule to it. Don't we need somebody to staff that? Or does supercargo let us traffic in expensive goods?
I think supercargo just says expensive goods, yes.
Okay, right. So another simplification of the game is we assume, like, if you didn't have a supercargo position and that kind of stuff, then you just have build. You just have this big, empty bullshit down there. Whereas with supercargo, we actually have bays, a crate, like netting, barrels, and also a way to keep track of which things are which ones. So we can actually traffic in expensive stuff, which you would need for a cargo ship because guns are expensive and extravagant. You couldn't traffic in this kind of stuff unless you could, add space for it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where you can get technical because we don't have smuggling, which means we can't traffic in prescribed
legal things,
goods, which includes guns. But
I think we were looking at the logs, and I don't think last time we actually officially declared what was on the boat.
Well, I did since then. I'm about to tell you.
There we go.
Yeah,
I'm just updating the tonnage because I thought we had a lot less storage than we do. I'm still using all of this storage, but I'm updating the totals.
Well, and also they were a colony ship. A lot of this could just either was supposed to be food or is food.
Yes, so this is
water.
Yeah, so here's what we got. Here's what I got. You tell me if you guys think this makes sense. First of all, they are shipping Bibles. Maybe that was a joke last time, but 1 ton of Bibles, for missionary work in the area. The big one, the second largest is food and water, food, bread, dried vegetables, dried meat. 18 tons of food supplies. There's clothing and fabric. There's 9 tons of clothing and fabric. There's 1.5 tons of guns, gun parts, and there's 36 tons of livestock. This would be breedable animals for food, not for milk because they're all dinosaurs, but
There we go.
Good old blood pudding. Oh, wow. So there's animals on board here. Well, that must be fun.
Indeed.
Well, that does also add additional detail. I think last time the captain wanted to leave the boat somewhere, and then we sail the smaller one out, get a crew, and come back.
Indeed.
If there's livestock there that probably needs to at least be fed or slightly tended to, they will die by our return.
They will.
So
yes,
my
probably.
first thought was literally, by the time we get back, only the strongest animal will survive. And then my second thought was, I don't want to propagate animal cruelty on the internet, so...
Content warning. animal cruelty, dino fights.
Yeah.
That is definitely one of the content warnings. So, okay, so which brings the question: who among us knows animal handling? And I think I'm the only one who has craft.
I have craft.
The crafter
Okay,
has
so-
craft.
So me and the sister here can take care of that, and we have sea legs, right? Because Arcloid, what's your job again?
I'm a mahi kohatu.
Okay, but do you have vehicles or sailing?
Yes.
Okay, between the two of us, we have sea legs. We could try to keep these animals alive.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Well-
But the idea is being that we don't have enough people to.
I think last time we declared that we did actually, because we only needed one person steering and 3 people on the rigging. And
Well,
as long as we don't explode along the way, we're fine.
to care for the animals, we have to appoint someone the supercargo, and that technically requires the gift of administration, which none of us have.
Ah, right.
And the prerequisite for administration is literacy, which means the only one of us who could be a supercargo is Gaston.
Go Gaston.
Master of everything.
Well, you're the only one with any book learning.
So just hold on, just to clarify. Are we saying that when a station says it has a minimum amount of crew, some of those we can just ignore?
You can ignore a station, but if you ignore a station, you don't get the benefits of it. And
Right.
if you
I'm saying
ignore-
like rigging on Lost and Folly, rigging has a minimum crew of 3.
Well,
so we can just ignore
okay.
rigging, is what you're saying.
right. If you ignore the station, you don't get the station. If you ignore the rigging, you can't move the ship because
I
we
know.
need
That's what I'm
ships.
saying is we
Yeah.
are a very small amount of people on a ship that has a very high requirement, which is
Well,
why
what
I
we-
was going to bail on the ship here and go get
Well-
more people.
We need more people. Do we have
We're
enough
6
people?
people right now.
We have enough people we could at least get to a port. Why don't we just get the ship to the nearest port and try to get some people?
That's the plan.
Mhm.
I would even offer a goal for that. Get a crew.
It
for
also
the Lost
means-
Folly.
Ride your
Right, it
illegal
also-
ship into a port. Cool. Yeah, got it.
I
Well,
will get a crew.
let's find a port. I'm skilled at recruiting. I've got skills, social skills. I'm an influencer, I say, putting my hands on my guns, smiling broadly.
Oh no, not another dandy. I had enough of that at the colony. They're the only ones who had books.
Call me a dandy again. Just do it.
Is Gaston not a dandy?
No, he's a marine and a wizard. He's a
Yeah,
warlock.
Gaston's a fancy lad.
Yeah, I like you say,
I
I'm not a
stab
dandy.
people for a living.
I'm not a dandy. By
Okay.
the way, what is this? I'm going to have to grab your sword hilt. What is this?
That is a piece of junk I happen to find.
A piece of junk that you happen, seriously. Like, what sword are you carrying again? Are you carrying
It is a short sword.
just a
It's
short sword?
Short sword.
Oh, I thought, what happened to your big fancy sword?
This Gaston does not have it.
Oh, Gaston 2.0 is
the
a cool sword?
Yeah, Gaston 1 died with an expensive rapier that Anushka took. Gaston 2 has only recently acquired the ability to get a rapier, but he needs to get to port.
Oh, well, what staff? What's your rod?
The staff is actually... I need to actually go look up what specialization it is, but it
Oh.
would be a water one.
Okay. All right. So you're not that fancy, and you're also wearing armor and not robes, right?
That is correct. I am
Okay.
wearing armor.
All right. So you're the closest we have to a fancy lad, but really you're just educated and all rough around the edges.
Correct.
Okay. No, that still works. Yeah, I think. Well, also one thing I was going to point out is we can't sail the ship 24 hours a day because we only have a 6-person crew. Some of us will have to sleep. And speaking of those of us who have to sleep, someone was asking me, "Hey, do I still get rest to heal my injury when aboard a ship?" Not when you're working 18-hour shifts, boss.
Mm,
So
It is, in fact, a pure silver staff. I am overarmed right now.
yeah, overarmed. I don't understand. Is this some sort of foreign construction? Like,
Gaston carrying 5 muskets, pure silver staff, 2 different swords, a lever crossbow,
why do you have the
and a
crossbow
dagger, and a buckler,
All right, well,
and a pistol.
I mean, I punch everybody. Everybody's overarmed to me.
again, this
Travel light.
I don't understand. All right, so we're right here. So Stonefigure Island is nothing, right? It's just
That's where we.
It's a
that's where we
nothing.
are. Yeah.
that's where we are.
No, we left there. We're here.
yeah.
Oh, right.
The
We
thing
left
marked
there
the ship.
and went out. Thought probably
So-
not that far.
So it looks like we could go. Well, we're not that far from Feranther. Oh wait, no, we are. Okay. I made a note in the book. You can expect to do 30 to 50 leagues, depending on the quality of your crew. By the way, we have a shitty crew.
Indeed.
So we could get to Feranther in about 6 or 7 days, possibly 10.
Okay.
Assuming we don't fuck up or run into any trouble.
Yeah, we spend the whole week trying to get there.
Barbarossa is... Oops.
Where we originally came from. We stole a boat from there. I think we are non gratis there now.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, well, I'm going to make a weird proposal to you guys. The closest place is technically Padella.
Padella!
But you may notice that Padella doesn't have an island next to it. That's because it's underwater.
Ooh.
Oh, what
Oh.
aquatic creature location.
It's one of the underwater cities.
That's cool.
Because you may have noticed that there's like sharks and seals and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, Padella is underwater. But that doesn't mean we can't recruit crew there.
True. They will at least have some sort of surface section at the least, and I think most of them do need to still surface every now and then to breathe air anyway.
Do they have a surface
Right.
section?
I mean, by surface, I would suggest it probably looks like Waterworld.
Welcome to
You know,
Padella,
sure.
where man can live by the sweat of his brow.
God damn it.
I imagine it's probably actually a shallow section of water that didn't actually fully form into islands. Or
I mean, I'm
something.
sure there's like shoals and that
Shelf.
kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and possibly derelicts or boats hanging out on the surface of the water.
Yeah, there's
But-
probably like little floating rafts or docks anyway, because these people still trade with, land animals.
Yeah, and we have a good thing to drop off and trade to them. Here's a bunch of food. We want to stay and ask if a bunch of people want to come with
Here's a
us.
bunch of
We brought you
land
guys-
animals.
I'm sorry, did we say we were not talking about animal cruelty?
Hmm.
Because I was just sitting here thinking, like, welcome, underwater city. Here, we watch your livestock. Push, splash.
I recommend just slaughtering them. Yes.
What about
Have a
Gangu?
feast every day.
Gangao.
What about Zhang Gao?
Gangao.
Ganga.
I don't know.
That's an
I'm
interesting one.
struggling with 8 different computer problems right now. Can someone
It
look
is
that one
the
up?
same distance as Feranther.
It's also on land.
It's also on land. I believe this is the one. This is like the treasure island where dragons are holding up.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah,
if they want to
it's-
trade with people.
it's a Zhongyi's holdout. So
Yeah.
is anyone here Zhongyi's? I don't think so. We're all locals except for Gaston, right?
That's right. I am from the Bisclave lands.
Okay, so you're colonial adjacent. Okay, well, I mean that's the next question of like who would we have better odds recruiting? A bunch of Zhongyi's pirates, a bunch of pirates, or I'm suggesting the shark guys because they're only a day or two away.
I would like to empty
And-
this hold of land animals. So I don't know if they're going to be easier to get rid of in a sub-oceanic city or here there's this island. They're going to eat food. They might still need animals.
Right. I mean,
Sharks are carnivorous.
and I was suggesting we're going there to recruit crew, not necessarily to sell the stuff.
Right. I'm just saying that I would also like to get rid of these animals at the same time.
Mhm.
Well, you're the captain, so I believe technically it's your call. Those are the 3 closest ports that we know about. The pirate guys would be likely to buy the guns, or actually, sorry, they import guns, so they would give us shitty prices for them. But they would probably take the food. Whereas,
I mean, literally, someone described it as Treasure Island. So
yeah, well, what's Gengao's imports and exports?
It exports gold, obsidian, and quarried stone. Imports firearms, gunpowder, and also medicine.
doesn't Abla here need obsidian?
That is a fair point, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I like the sound of gold.
In game terms, imports they will pay good prices for, exports they will pay shitty prices for.
Right, we
'cause
just
they're
got
selling.
these guns, so that's the import right there. So yeah, Gengao it
Gengao's
is.
sounding better and better.
Gengao, that's right.
Okay.
All right, so set sail for east, and hopefully the weather is with us.
Indeed.
Move that thing and that other thing.
Okay.
Batten the rivets.
Da-da-da.
Lock
Sorry.
down
Hoist the
all
mitten mast.
hatchets.
Oh no, the mizzen is mizzen. Oh,
Risen is risen.
That's
Who
not bad.
mizened all over this mast?
Oh
Second
my
star on the left,
goodness.
straight on till
Okay.
morning.
During one of these respites, I would like to tap my Kohatu trappings.
so you're remaking your weapons.
Yes.
Yeah, last time they were throwing around all of their obsidian weapons and broke them all for extra damage to magnificent effect.
Yeah. So that you
like
have all the mojados, right? The big wooden pallets with the little obsidian shards in them.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. He's from the other side of the Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Or she's
Okay.
from the other side of the Pacific Rim.
So I picked Hapunga for my home island.
Well, we got obsidian lying around. What else are you going to do with it? What else are you going to do with it besides violently insert it into colonials? I ask you.
That's the best thing to do with it.
It's the best thing you can do with almost anything.
Let's see. So with the 6 of us, 3 on rigging, 1 at the helm, which is the captain, and then 2 people poorly taking care of animals. Seems like how we're actually distributing right now.
Yes, and there was an option in the book for travel. The last version had this, I think, in the travel section where it says you can make a roll on the helm station to see how far you get.
Yeah. Assuming no interruption, that was going to be about 5 days. Should we give Theta the chance to do any rolls to recover? Because they will get to roll their body for each one. They might have rest, and they might have food.
Well, I'm not going to get rest because I'm working.
Yeah, if you're not manning any
station,
station.
I'm manning the station every day.
Yeah, but you do have food. We are not lacking in food.
Yes, so you will get a good meal every day, so that applies. Because we're still in the good meal stage. We're not in the scurvy stage yet.
I mean, this also assumes that we just get there in 5 days, which I haven't heard from the GM yet. So
Right. So
well, I was waiting for.
I'll say let's say 4 days while you guys have clear waters and nothing happens. On the 5th day, complications, but you can at least plan for that much.
Okay, so we do 4 days. So that's 4 body rolls for the captain, during which you get no medical care.
Rolls.
All right, so that should be 8 quota. You're a third of the way back to health.
I'm fine.
And you didn't get sick either.
Character probably sounds like I do.
Arcaloid, what's your character's name?
Abla.
Where did you get that picture?
I got that on Hero Forge.
Hero Forge, but I was saying it's a Hero Forge picture. Wow, so Hero Forge has. I was surprised. Hero Forge has apparently Mesoamerican costumes.
Well, that's a bone armor that I just colored green instead of white.
Okay.
Ingenuitive.
Are you wearing bone armor? What are you wearing?
Kelp armor.
Okay. Kelp armor. Okay. Kelp we can find.
It's the default
Yes.
for a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing leather because I'm weird.
Same here. I'm
Kelp.
colonial. I have colonial gear.
I'm co-opting colonials.
At least you got it for free. I had to actually pay full price for this. Now it has holes in it.
You could fix the holes.
I'll
All
just
right.
get a new one.
I mean, there were plenty of guys to get new ones from.
Okay, so you guys have been traveling for 4 days. You're learning the ins and outs of this ship. You guys are on. I assume you are piloting the Lawson's Folly. Have you left the Righteous Indignation behind
I think
you?
we could hook it up onto the boat, is what
Can
we
you do
Yeah,
that?
you
Can
said
you,
that
like-
before. You said that last
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
Which is
How big is the Righteous Indignation?
It is a dispatch cutter.
Oh yeah. In theory, we could dismantle it and just put it on the boat. We got cargo space.
Not even dismantle it, we could just hook it up, I think.
No, you need an appointment.
Ah.
You actually need the dispatch appointment to be able to launch it. Otherwise, we could, and they used to do this all the time, take apart, boats and build them later. And
We do
between
have
me,
skilled crafters.
between me and Alba, we've got craft. And also, do any of your henchmen have craft? You said some of them were sailors, right?
I mean, you've got 2 right now. You've got a very small crew,
Yeah, the
but
four
they
of
were
us will
both
just
sailors.
the 4 of us will just take it apart, which would probably delay us by a day. But once again, we have the food, so I'm thinking as long as we don't expect anyone to come here and blow us out of the water, since we're in the middle of nowhere, I would take a day and just take it apart.
Yeah.
well,
guys
conceivably
have
we would have had
enough
to done that
food.
on the first day. So
Yeah,
Right. So so add an extra day to our time.
yeah. And you guys have enough food to last for quite a while at this,
Yeah,
this rate.
food is not an issue, so we'll do that.
So, just for my own clarification, this was common practice that they would literally dismantle a boat and stash it on another boat. Is that what dispatch means?
Well, a dispatch is a smaller boat that you throw it. Really, a large boat might have rigging with another boat on it in a crane, so you just like crank it out and drop it and just go off on your daily affairs.
Gotcha.
But that requires the appointment. The reason why you have to do the appointment for the dispatch is that's the crane. This is a cargo boat. It doesn't have that kind of crane or rigging to just hold an entire boat and throw it over the edge. Because all that space is taken up by cargo. We have stowage and we have compartments, barrels, like, we're like a Walmart warehouse. We're huge.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was actually, one of the reasons why this is the golden age of piracy is this is the magical time where everything's still made out of wood and you can still find wood and boats are powered by sails, which doesn't require any fuel. So if you guys know how to fix stuff, like you're good with tools, you can just keep fixing crap and just nailing wood and, fixing all this kind of stuff. And the pirates are all self-sufficient. Now, later in the Ironclad era, when ships are powered by coal or gas, now you have long-tail supply lines. Now you have to have coal and oil to run your ships. You just can't run aground, chop down some trees, and fix everything. So we're in that narrow era of the reason why they can't get rid of these pirates is because
They're highly self-sufficient.
they run off and build another freaking boat.
That's pretty cool. Okay, and very interesting too. The notion of dismantling a boat on the ocean and then like stashing it is very cool to me, and not something I've ever heard.
Yeah,
but I like it. Cool.
Yeah, and there's a reason with a lot of crafting in there. So yeah, no, we'll just take the whole thing apart.
Okay, awesome. So that takes you a day.
I mean,
4
yeah,
days
normally
travel.
the problem would be space, but we have 120 tons of it.
Yeah, no, you got plenty of space left over. I didn't do the calculations for the new your new available space, 120 ton hold. Bibles are 1 ton. That's plus the food is 19, plus the clothing is 28, 29 and a half with the gun parts. And then
65.5 tons.
there you go. Yeah, so that's about half of your total
I
stowage.
mean, we have enough space with 120 car. I mean, I think the Righteous Fury is only like what, a 10-ton boat.
Yeah,
Righteous Indignation.
Yeah.
Lost
The Righteous
its folly
Indignation.
is the other ship.
Yeah,
I think it's only got a quarter ton stowage.
It's a tiny boat. It's like
Yeah.
one of those tiny little yacht things. It's like only maybe 20 paces, one chain across. So, and this boat we have, I mean, literally you can get that boat inside this boat. The only reason we can't pick it up and put it in here is because we don't have the right kind of rigging for that.
Yeah.
So we take the mast off, we hurl it in, put your backs into it. Everybody aches and pains. Everybody complains about it. Do we have any alcohol?
I'm going to say that's
Unfortunately,
part
we're pretty
of the...
dry.
No, I'll
Okay.
say that included in the food cargo.
Well,
There's got to be
That's
alcohol in
good
there.
then.
Well, no, because that would be.
Would that be a separate thing? That'd be expensive. Okay.
Yeah. The reason why I ask if there's any alcohol is like when you say no, I'll say morale is low.
Morale is low. Okay, fair enough.
The Bibles did nothing.
Yeah, that's right. Morale is low. We distribute Bibles. Morale is lower.
Is lower. Oh man. Okay.
You have the wrong kind of crew for that. First of all, it might help if they could read.
Oh.
That means it's got to be story time where Gaston sits here and reads us from the Bible, and we all just look at him.
And it says here that Saint William then was in one location fighting a god of death or necromancer, but was also tending to the wounds of a noble? I don't understand. It's so
Give me that.
ridiculous.
No,
You're reading it wrong.
no, yeah, you're reading it wrong. As in at all. Let's throw this thing overboard and see how fast it sinks.
It says this here that we are forgiven for all of our sins. It's boring. Get rid of it.
I have yet to sin.
No. Read me more from the letters of Gar.
Well, it seems that if you're already forgiven ahead of time, you'd be a fool not to sin more.
It's just more stupid propaganda for the colonials. Sacrifice yourself to help the noble class. But garbage. People buy this? They bought a whole ship, put all this on here just to bring this to somebody? This is supposed to make them feel better? Nah.
As you are amidst this theological debate, sort of, you hear from the lookout station the throaty voice of Demetrios the Hands. You know that any moment now you should be spotting the peaks of Gangguo, but the call is not for that. Instead, you hear, "Sail ho!" And as you rush to the fore of the ship, the bow, the pointy end, you can see on the horizon the tiny, tiny white specks that will resolve into the sails of large warships.
Okay, so I have the first question to ask. What flag are we flying?
Well, this one came with the Bisclervray flag.
Are we flying that flag? I asked the captain.
Yeah.
Okay, so we identify as a Bisclervray. Second question, what flag are they flying?
They are flying the pirate banners of Feranther.
Okay, so they're pirates and we're flying the Bisclervray flag.
Perfect. I love this scenario. No easier way to lure in another pirate than pretend to be a merchant.
I sense our deaths are very near at hand. Might I suggest abandoning ship immediately and going native amongst the Zongis?
Abandoned ship? Are we close? We could try to outsail them. I mean, how close are we to...
No.
Who
Go
is our
ahead.
navigator?
I suppose the first question is, Demetrios, what are they doing?
It looks like there's a number of them. And shortly after seeing them, you can see the island behind them. They look like they are just stationed out there. It looks like enough of them spaced in an even pattern to form a blockade of the island.
Okay, so they're in our way, so we gotta go around them.
I suspect they are perhaps blockading the port of Zhangguo. Is that correct?
Well, Gangguo.
Well, we have to go through them to get to the port, and we're flying Biscay colors. We could strike the colors.
We could strike the colors, and we could send a message.
I mean, the
But I
problem is
mean, I would have to go and be a messenger.
they might have already seen it. We could also, I mean, I hate to suggest this, but we could also surrender. I mean, they might just take our cargo and leave us alive.
Well, it seems they're less interested in us than they are with whatever they are blockading for.
Well, then
Well,
we...
All
if we
idle
still around
speculation.
them,
They're still literally on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I will say is if you can see them, it's a fair bet that they can see you. I don't think there was a lot of technology that allowed people to spot
The way
before
you
they got
spot things at
spotted.
a further distance is to be higher up, which is why you put your lookout at the top.
top of the
And
map, right?
this is the era of spyglasses, not to mention bird people. But
Yes.
right. But that's why we talk about your colors, because your flag is, pretty colorful. Biscay fly a blue flag, and Dolar are green, Ronaldo are red. Zhangguo, I can only guess what their colors would be, but it'll be a motley assortment, probably with a lot of green. So
Green and gold?
Yeah, it's like a jade.
Right. So
Green and black, I guess.
right. So they're pirates, so they might have a spyglass. They might have a professional lookout. Like, do we have a professional lookout, or do we have?
You've got Demetrios, but he's one-handed, so he's lookout by default because he's not that good at most other jobs.
He does have a
Okay.
spyglass, at least.
So they've probably already seen us, but they didn't break ranks to come after us, which is a good sign. So we could try to go around them. We could try to go through them. I would suggest avoiding them because if they're pirates, they're almost definitely going to want tribute.
I'm just so interested though in what's going on here. What is the typical procedure? Say if this was a military operation, right? And you were blockading the port. What would be the typical way that you would signal to a person as to the port being blocked, other than just formation?
Are you ready? Firing a shot over your bow.
Right, but okay. Anybody here good with flags? And I don't mean like identifying flags. I mean
Yeah,
that.
semaphore.
Yeah. Anyone here good with semaphore?
There is semaphore in this period, but unfortunately, it's not very standardized.
I could just fly over and ask.
Sure.
I mean, this is the
You
era
can
where
get
you
shot.
run the white flag to say you're surrendering.
That seems pretty universal, right?
Mhm.
I mean, if Gaston's perfectly okay with getting shot at if it's the wrong call, then yeah, sure, go over there. See what's going on.
Yeah. I will say that they will take a warning shot at you. I don't know what the range is. I'm learning a lot about naval ranges right now. Apparently, you can see between like 3 and 5 miles over the curvature of the horizon. So this is news to me. Didn't know that before.
Ironclaw defines the horizon as 10,000 meters or 10 kilometers.
Okay. And now I'm looking for the ranges on cannon.
I think it's based on your skill.
Gotcha.
The maneuver, like what does broadside cannon? What the maneuvers? What do they say you can shoot the person at?
I'm scrolling around for it.
You can very long range.
Right. So the maximum range they have is very long, which is
That's light cannon. But yeah,
okay. Well, that's light cannon. Right.
extreme
but I mean,
range for
short was 12, so
Yeah,
36, 100. Yeah, very long. So that's about 300, 400 meters. So, and if they can do more than that, then it's extreme would be like 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers. So we can see them way before we're in cannon range.
Yeah.
Kind of sad that we broke apart the righteous indignation now. I would be so willing to just board it and try and break their blockade.
What we would, well, one thing we can do, I mean, if this is going to be an issue in the future, is we can remove one of the appointments from the ship and replace it with the rapid dispatch.
Right, for the future.
Right. We have to pick something to lose.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay.
So I'm just in the element of trying to be more responsible than I want to be.
Well,
the extreme part of my head is like, set the ship on fire, sail it right at them. But
I think I was suggested we could maybe go around and then
sail
carry
through
this
the island.
across land
Sail through the island.
around it.
So you have just put your indicator went literally to the edge of the island and then through it.
One thing to do would be we could sail around, make landfall. Well, I mean, we have a shallow draft. We can make landfall. That's one of the advantages of the ship. We get close enough and drag it onto shore with our 6 people. Morale is even lower. Right. And then when we're there, rebuild the righteous fury and sail that out to go meet them and see if they're still there. That would take us a couple of days.
What about the capital? The Citadel. Does it have a port itself?
Straight to Gongao?
No, the Firenze. I'm sorry.
Oh, Mount Ferenzi? No, Mount Ferenzi, I don't think is the capital. I thought it was a place of interest.
The Citadel of the King is there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but notice Mount Ferenzi's inland, though.
Yeah,
right.
And we gave
That's
up
a hike.
Well, no, I was looking at this. There is a small opening there in the water.
Right.
I don't know what that is to scale.
We would have to. Right, that's the river, and it is navigable by our ship because we're a shallow draft. But the real question is, if we go around them, like out of their line of sight, could we still? I mean, are they blocking Gongao or are they blocking? So could we navigate to where? Why am I not? I'm not pinging. How do I ping?
You hold it.
Do you have the arrow selected?
Oh no, I don't have. Sorry, I'm on ruler. There
it is.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we could conceivably go up the river because they might not follow us because they might have too deep of a draft. I mean, the real question is, if we go around them, do they follow us? And we won't know that until we try to go around them. At this point, it doesn't look like they've sent anyone to come engage us. How many ships are they? We can ask Demetrius because I can barely see past my nose.
Oh man, yeah. How many ships does it take to effectively?
I think you did say 3, but I mean, honestly, that's probably a good idea anyway.
It takes several, but you wouldn't have them close enough that you could see them.
Okay, so that we can see. We'll say that you can see 2 ships.
I mean, we can see 2, which means if they send one after us. I mean, like if there were like 12, they might just send one after us on giggles. There's 2 of them, so they might not come after us. Yeah, no, I think we have a shallow draft. We can go upriver. That sounds great. We should just go to Mount Ferenzi and just go around this. I mean, we don't have any contracts. We can sell this anywhere.
Yep. So, honestly, that does sound like the best idea. With that tiny river that I can only just now notice, why not try it?
And you know
Even
what?
better, we might run into towns along the river and be able to unload and get more crew.
There's always the possibility that they give us they try to get us to get rid of the blockade somehow, and that's a
the
goal.
Most exciting thing that's coming to mind right now is this is Azongi's island, and if we have a port and we want to rebuild our boat a little bit, we can equip ourselves with rockets.
Rockets. There you go.
Why have cannons when you could have rockets?
Indeed.
Yeah, I forget what the advantage of rockets is.
Longer range and they start fires.
At longer range and they start fires. Okay.
They don't do as much
pretty
damage, however, not
They
outright.
don't do as much damage, but they're longer range and start fires. Okay. If they're
Okay.
sure. No, that actually sounds pretty good to me. We could start going upriver, and like I said, along the river, we could run into people who would buy stuff.
Okay. Well, when it looks like you are not changing course or changing a little bit of course from the port, one of these ships is going to peel off and give chase to you. At least up until the mouth of the river, because this boat is such that it could not chase you there, but it will try to intercept you along the way.
Well,
All we have to do is beat it there.
Yeah, do you want us to make a helm roll to do that?
I do! I would like you to make a helm roll to do that.
All right,
We're going to
well,
do some...
I will roll rigging
Well,
to assist the helm.
Let's see. What's the rigging roll?
This.
Okay, so the captain is supposed to go into the captain seat,
I'm actually doing the helm.
but you're actually doing the helm.
Yep.
Okay. Because if you were the captain, you could order someone else. Do you want to put someone else in the captain's role? Who's the first mate?
Me. I'm not doing the rigging.
Are you any good with leadership?
No.
So, what's Davis' character's name? I don't see it here.
Cow. Captain
Cow?
Cow. K-A-O. Captain Cow.
Captain Cow. I would suggest that Gaston, who's way too busy doing the rigging, if I may be so humble, I would suggest you make me the first mate and promote me to brevet captain because I actually have leadership.
We already did that, remember? Last session.
Okay, good. Well then, move that thing and that other thing. I, as the captain, order the helm. What's the role for the captain station?
we're going to find out. Station.
Mind, will, leadership, and sailing's D12 if you have it.
Mind, will, leadership, and sailing. I do. It's a marine. I am brevet captain. All right, you heard this, Nibs. Get back to work. Let's see. Excellent. I have 3 successes. What can I pick with 3 successes?
Double orders.
Double orders. I will order the rigging people to rig better and the helm, about.
Would that be an extra D8 or something, I think?
That's a bonus D8 to both of you.
Doesn't help me.
Well, I gave the correct orders, but it's also a bonus D8 to Abla when they, to Ka when they make the
Cow.
when they make the helm roll.
Right, and Gaston obviously gives me extra smooth sailing because you have 3 successes.
Yeah, sail, motive, sail, maneuver, and D8.
Yep.
Right.
D12 actually, because I'm a team player, I think. Am I? Hold up.
So actually I got 2 bonus D8s, one from the...
I am, in fact, a team player of all things.
So a D8 and a D12.
Which actually make you a better captain than me, but you're busy in the rigging.
Yes. We
Why are
can
you in
assign
the rig-
ourselves later, once we have
Why-
choices.
Why are you in the rigging again?
Because I couldn't do magic. And
Oh,
because we had a captain.
makes sense.
1 away from a 5 success. Which I guess would be a 3 success superior escape, then. That we break away from battle.
We've
Okay.
got such a good wind behind us that they can't really catch up.
And bonus 2d8 to
Okay.
defense rolls if they do.
And you could roll, say, 5d6 or 5d8 for the pursuers to see how well they're doing.
I was considering doing that. I was setting up the roll in my head. Oh, we can try it.
Well,
it seems
I
like it
would,
might be confusing because if
I
you get a
would-
superior escape and they get a superior chase, then
I
what
would
does
throw out that you
happen?
said that they couldn't go down the river. And superior escape itself does says, if no enemy can manage superior pursuit. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I
they would
misread that.
have to get superior pursuit. To
I
get
misread. I thought it said if they can't manage pursuit. For some reason I didn't read the word superior in there.
There we
Yeah.
go. They have to do as well as us.
Yeah,
Okay.
they would have to get 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4. We have 4 successes. They would have to do at least that.
Well, they have the dice to do it, so
So they might do it. Well, that's
They
what you
have-
got roll dice for.
yeah, full appointments. We're gonna rote those appointments.
I mean, Captain Cow has personality if we need more dice.
Okay.
At the same time, I would like another ship in the flotilla.
So 1, 2, 3, and the sailing's D12 is 4. And because they're well-manned and captained, we're going to give them a D8 for helping from their captain. So it's going to be 3D6, 1D8, and a D12. Okay, and they need 3 successes or more. Wow. It
That is
never
not
fails.
pretty-
Wow, you guys are going to get chewed out when you get back. That is some
Indeed so.
miserable failing.
Yeah, look, the winds were just not with us, I guess. Okay.
Wait, are you sure Captain, are you sure they're following us? I mean, look at that.
It's fine.
In fact,
They were all drunk on deck. They didn't drop canvas all the way, and
did they run aground on that small sandbar there?
I mean,
No, they're going over it. They had enough speed.
And normally I should think that we're lucky or maybe we're skilled sailing people, but I'm horrible. So I'll sit here and spew a bunch of insults about how terrible they are.
Ah, that's the
All
spirit.
right.
I mean, I'm steering, but my face is covered with disappointment because all I wanted to do was go over there.
Let's wait until we
Bring it
have
to
some
us.
rockets, Captain.
Behold, Friends River, or whatever they call it here, or as locals call it, the river.
Whatever the
Florence
native word for
Pond.
river is.
Pond.
Exactly. So,
Island only has one, so clearly it's whatever the word for river is.
Well, I'm sure there's like at least 12 indigenes that live along the river, and they all have a different name for it.
probably.
All right.
So, yeah, you guys make it into the river as you're... you count your stars. A crew of 6 managed to dodge a blockade and get into this river. The island's mountains loom large now in front of you. The island is mostly craggy volcanic rock with sparse coverings, sparse jungles cropping up here and there along the river where they can find purchase.
Yeah, have you guys ever seen Ow Ow?
I've not ever seen Ow Ow.
So that basically that's that kind of lava that goes pretty quickly, and then and because it's near the water and far away from the volcano, it hardens very quickly. So it's got
Oh yeah, the really runny.
yeah, it's got all these
stuff.
weird bulbous shapes in it. It looks
Yeah.
really weird. And I'm guessing that there's probably a lot of volcanic rock here. There's no town on the mouth of this river, which is weird because it's a great place to build one. So I'm guessing that like this must look like a bunch of weird volcanic rock, like you described. I mean, this must be that CGI moment where you're sailing in and there's the weird rocks and everything, and the crew is just like, "What the hell is this?" Now, fine sailing to escape that superior vessel is what I would be saying if you weren't all a bunch of incompetent, lucky people.
What?
You're right. Captain Cow is the pinnacle of luck.
I'm the first name. I thought we were doing, good cop, bad cop.
What is a
No,
cop?
I prefer just insulting him.
What's a
Really, I
cop?
just prefer that.
All right. As you make your way up this river, you can spot closer to the central island that there are sort of there are small towns that look probably indigenous, that they're constructed out of the sparse foliage, probably made of bamboo and palm tree and the like.
Man, there was that great video showing people like digging places out of sand and building all that like really cool stuff and big rock and stuff. But we wouldn't be able to see those because those are subterranean. So, welcome to Ironclaw, where 1/3 of the species have digging, and you can't see any of the crap that they built.
Ironclaw YouTube era is going to be amazing.
Really?
How it's made.
Except the fact that like 2/3 of us don't navigate by sight, so I'm not really sure what you're showing on this site.
360
Have like a
bird
smell of
trick
vision.
shot. I smack this thing back in midair.
Yep.
Not clickbait.
Well,
You do.
if we want to make landfall, we would need to talk to people. Who's good at talking to locals?
Absolutely none of us.
I mean, I have Trade winds pidgin is my language.
That's what we all have as our native language.
Actually, I have it just my chosen language because we didn't have any default languages.
Yeah, I picked that one too. That's how we were even talking to each other.
Okay.
Well, I
See,
do
that
have
makes a lot of sense.
So you're saying that I should actually get 10 XP back then for having wasted it?
Oh, wait, did you buy an extra language?
Yeah, I bought it as an extra language because there's no default language.
What's your native language? What's your native language?
I don't know what the native language is around here because I figure we had a discussion about this when you were
varies
around
from-
Island.
Sorry, I
yeah.
wasn't there for that.
Yeah,
I mean, it varies
Island. So I chose that so that I would be able to talk to everybody as the captain.
Oh, well, you should pick a place and speak its native language.
But you're saying that
I'm
we
going
all
to do-
speak this apparently.
Well, I'm sorry. I picked Trade Winds Pidgin as my native language. I can't speak for the rest of you.
Well,
Also, I guess
okay.
now, as far as local knowledge, I'm going to also choose the Bridgel Seas. I
Fair.
think that's also probably the time to choose that too.
I picked Hopunga for my home island, and I didn't know what the language was called, so I just named it after the island. And I also took Trade Winds Pidgin.
That
Okay.
makes a lot of sense for you.
Yes, I don't think I'll be able to talk to the people on this.
Yeah, none of us.
We
None of
won't
us.
speak their native language, but we could still trade with them.
Now there is a gift in the game called Cosmopolitan, which I think you would probably want to get.
Indeed, there is a list of suggested additional things for doing trade here. So I suppose we should warm up to the point where we are about to trade with the natives and then go over these kind of things.
Okay, but also our captain here, you actually have stuff like negotiation.
No.
No. Okay.
Nope, leadership is basically the only talky thing I'm good at.
So, am I the only one with any talky skills? Because I'm horrible.
You guys
I
need a
believe you are
salesperson.
today.
Because I have leadership and deceit.
And of course, Alba, you do not have any negotiation either, do you? You're
No.
looking for a merchant.
I just have the 8 presents, and that's only from species.
I swear to
Well-
all of you here, I will pick up an ally merchant. I swear.
Well, you're all lucky I'm here, because I know the common people. Just let me do all the talking. You'll be fine.
I trust
So,
you.
I suppose we find a town that has a suitable port. We look to see if we can find a local merchant of some kind or anyone who is willing to interact with us for sale, and then see if we can start negotiating.
Well,
Well,
yeah. Okay.
I was in the process of
Sorry.
storytelling and stuff. You got basically 2 choices. There are these small, native villages along the banks of this river. If you wait until you get out into the larger lake, you can see that there is a stepped either town or citadel in the mountain. There's also a large collection of shallow draft boats that are harbored that might that could also make up sort of like a floating village of sorts. So you've got the natives. The big dichotomy in this place is that there's the dragons from Zongyo, I so butchered that, who have come in and basically run the place with their superior weapons. But they've made sort of like a caste system with the natives, and they've been stuck here for so long that they've kind of grown up together at this point to be a single people with this huge disparity in wealth.
Yeah, this is the favelas. This is the pirate town. These are my kind of people. Let's see if we can get close enough to the shore, and I can see if I can negotiate and find us. I guess. Do we want to sell first, or do we want to recruit first?
I think sell first, and then we can use the money to recruit as an additional bonus, and we can also use it to enhance our ship while we go and search for crew.
That's sensible. What say you, Captain? Is that good to you?
It makes the most logical sense.
All right. Let's go ahead and try to make landfall in the seediest, most disreputable place, because I actually have Streetwise.
Okay, if you want,
But-
that sounds like you want to make a landfall in the lake where like the dragon town
Where
is.
there'll be like the big. We were just talking about Port Royale. But there's going to be the big town of like pirates welcome. You know.
Indeed, I don't know if. Well,
Do you like to
maybe.
kill? Do you like to kill our enemies?
Mm-hmm.
We'll pay you to kill our enemies. Well, I'm here just to kill anyone. Yes.
Do you enjoy fishing at this tiny lake for the rest of your life? No? Well, how about you come with us instead?
Right. I feel like this place is kind of insular, but
Yeah.
still probably willing to do. I mean, they're being blockaded, right? So they're
this
probably
is
willing
Hong
to
Kong. This is Kowloon.
Yeah.
So I think one of the first questions definitely is going to be, how big of a settlement can we reach here?
I mean, it's not going to be city sized. It's probably going to be town sized or smaller.
Right.
I mean, the Citadel is right here too.
We'll say town size then.
Right, but I mean, but also the bigger place we pull into, the bigger hassles we're going to have.
Right, but also the bigger market.
We also have
Yeah.
65 tons of goods that could go for at least 100 dinar each, assuming that they're just cheap goods.
Because I also want to point out that if we're still following
But the livestock is
Ironclaw,
expensive.
if we're still following Ironclaw's, Squaring the Circle's guidelines about how much money a town has,
Yes.
then we still
In fact,
probably want to hit larger settlements and
that
not
is-
I'm
smaller
looking at it
ones.
right here. You would
It's
roll a
definitely-
d12, and for a town, you would multiply it by 100.
that's in fact carbon copied into Book of Corals. That exact rule.
Right,
I'm
but I'm
looking
just
at it
saying
now.
that we have a bunch of expensive goods, which means it's more likely that we could offload.
Well, I think we let's sell the cheap stuff then, because we can get away with that.
But who's going to buy all these Bibles?
Probably
People
not
might
these
actually-
people. I don't know.
People might buy the Bibles. There might be people who want to convert. There are also books that have paper on them. They might have another. We
All
can
right.
find out.
Thank God we just
So-
ran out of toilet paper.
So, at least in our talking, we can understand this town, because we arrived unannounced without a contract, probably has about 600 dinar worth that we could actually sell to it.
Right. Oh,
A
also,
single expensive item would receive 2,500.
I mean, other things made out of paper include lanterns and fireworks. So
And armor.
Look, I just
And
gotta know
armor.
what's the most important.
yeah. So all right. So they have about 600. We could probably liquidate about 600 dinar worth of stuff. Okay. So I don't know. We need to get rid of the livestock because I'm sick of looking at these things.
Right. The livestock is expensive, and we have 36 tons of it.
Jesus.
That
They
would
only
be
have
90,000 dinar worth of livestock.
They only have 600 dinar worth of buying power.
Correct.
How much does expensive go for per ton?
2,500 each.
Again,
Yeah.
maybe we hit up the
Again,
Citadel,
We
the
are sitting on.
capital of the gold area.
Okay, all right. We'll go to the Citadel. Let's try to unload. My suggestion would be to either unload a book or two while we're here.
Look, the
Because-
fabric and the clothing is real cheap. Unload that along the way, and then just get everything else at the Citadel.
How much is cheap per ton?
100.
Okay,
100.
so the next thing to do is to try and do the negotiation roll to try and negotiate how much you can get for our merchandise.
And there's also the additional of, is food or whatever we're doing an export, neutral, or an import?
Right, that's up to the GM to decide what they're importing and what they're exporting.
Right. Luckily, we have a list for that.
Indeed.
And okay.
Yeah, they're near Mount Forensi, so they would probably have the same loadout.
Yeah, I need like the full. I need the paper book. Raph, where's my book? I need to bookmark this thing so I can flip around it.
They're rolling off
Stuff
of the
with PDFs.
presses. The pre-press is rolling off as we speak.
All right. Okay then. Let me get to the gazetteer. Where we're
In fact, it's the 21st. keep your fingers crossed. We may have actually passed it already. I don't know.
Cool. Okay. Is it under Mount Forenzy? Let's see.
I mean, there is an index.
I should just index.
And there's like the bookmarks list. If you hit the bookmarks button, we put in all the bookmarks.
Yeah, I have that up.
I'm not sure if Mount Foren's got its own write-up or if it's part of Gangao.
It might, yeah. I'm just gonna check the index if I can't find it. We're gonna just go with the Gongao.
Yeah. Which means which means they export like gold and gems, but they import what, firearms?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a neutral goods. So the clothing is neutral. So then we, I'm assuming that Griffin has the page open already. I guess I'm doing the negotiation because I'm the closest to. I don't technically get streetwise for this role because I don't. We're not selling prescribed goods.
Mind, will, gossip, negotiation.
Mind, will, gossip, and negotiation. All right.
It's to find someone willing to buy it. Cosmopolitan, diplomacy, haggling, insider, language, local knowledge, and assistance. All of them.
I have none of those. Who wants to assist me?
Do I have any will?
You just said you're also a team player, so obviously you're the one.
It would help a whole lot if I were to try to assist you. So let's do mind and will.
Okay, so to clarify here, Madame de Fernot and Gaston are going ashore, and we're gonna go talk to locals, saying, "Hi, I've got a boat that's underdefended and full of loot." Once again, I'm exaggerating for comic effect. If I roll high, I don't say that. So we're going. Is anyone else coming with us, or Captain? Are you staying on the boat? Because are you a team player, Captain Cow?
I'm not. I'm staying on the boat.
So you're staying on the boat. Okay, so it's just me and Gaston. Everyone else stays on the boat. You probably start ordering your men to start building the pennants.
Well, I would like to have a stop on shore to replenish my javelins.
Okay, so
do the selling before we do the buying.
Yeah, Ablo runs off in the woods to go chop a tree.
You know what I'm not going to do? Leave the boat defenseless. So, yeah.
Right. So Ablo runs off to go find some wood, and we're going to go hang out in town. Observe this pirate town. Smell the smell of civilization.
It's not a pirate town. Wait, I'm not there.
So, congratulations. Gaston does actually assist you by basically not being rude to everybody. And apologizing for you every now and then.
Really? Because I'm rude as hell.
This is going to be a long day. This is going to be an immensely long day.
Yikes.
Alright, so for no successes, how much are we getting?
Let's find
None.
out. For 0...
For a neutral, 60%.
60%
of the price.
Okay, so what's the normal price for cheap food or cheap clothing?
100 denarii.
So 60 per.
So
60 denarii per ton.
So good news. I managed to unload 10 tons of the stuff for 600 denarii.
You know, that's magical because we only had 9 tons of it.
Perfect! I sold all of it for 540.
No, we have 9 tons of fabric, but we have 18 tons of food.
No,
we're just talking about the clothes.
Yeah, we're not selling the food. We need the fucking food.
Oh, the average is 500 per.
Yeah. All right. So perfect. Cross off all the fabric. We get 540.
So it's actually different because the clothing and fabric was average, not cheap. So that's 500 denarii per ton.
2 tons of it for 600.
Oh, the clothing's 500 per ton, but we only get 60% of that, so we get 300 per ton. So we sell 2 tons of clothes. Get rid of 2 tons of clothes.
Yep.
Right.
And we get 600 denarii.
We should probably keep track of that somewhere at some point.
I can write it down on my end.
Which
Thank
one
you
of
very
us?
much, Red.
Which one of us is the supercargo?
So we're down to 7 tons of clothing and fabric. And that was 600.
Yep.
How much did you
600
guys make?
dinar.
Yep. Perfect. Bring these guys back, and they take you. We got look at all this money.
Well, I think I can go ahead and retire with all of this. I'll just be taking this away and see you all later.
So you
I
only
can't
plan to
retire.
live. You only plan to live for 600 days.
600 days until I need to do this again.
I don't know what the orbit is of the planet that we're on, but it's a little under 2 years.
Well, and also we have to divvy up the money. You don't get 600. You get
Yeah.
your share.
You
We
get
do
your share.
have 5 people here.
And don't forget that your hands get a share
Or
each
6,
as well.
actually. 6.
I'm just
Well,
saying,
So
even if you were
everyone's getting
gonna
100.
even if you were gonna pocket it all
Traditionally,
and run, that's still less than 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the captain
gets most.
Yeah, the captain gets 2 shares. The first mate gets a share and a half, and everybody else gets 1. And non-combatants usually only get a half share.
Although your pals were combatants back on Stonefinger Island, they want their full share.
Well, it's a question of whether you were hired as a combatant or not. There are pirate contracts,
It's exciting.
so like that's the difference between a sailor and a marine. But nevertheless, we're not cashing out yet anyway. And also that's if we do that by pirate code. We have 600 dinar, so we can go lock that up in the safe.
Right.
And by
And we
600
do have a
dinar,
safe that we already broke into.
by 600 dinar, this is probably a bunch of those I forget what they're called, Jeets. I forget.
Yeah, we're dealing with
apologize.
Zonghi's
everyone.
currency now.
This is almost definitely Zhongyi's currency.
Oh, cool.
I mean,
Okay.
it's a bunch of coins we've never heard of, which I gleefully accept because I'm horrible and don't understand money or math.
That's
They all
fine.
come on convenient strings, too.
That's fine. Moneylender is also a career in the Zongao thing, so we'll find
Yeah.
that at the Citadel.
So I collected a bunch of money. I'm sure it was a fine deal, I say. I mean, rolled no successes. Got this the first
Well, they sure seemed very happy with the deal. I think this went great. They
Oh.
forgave us for all of our rudeness, too, which was also very curious. I wonder why. Well, I'm
Everyone's
sure
all-
that'll be a mystery. These
Yeah,
people.
Everyone's always happy to see me, especially happy when done dealing with them.
Red, if you don't mind, while I'm here, I would like to go ahead and tap my trappings, get some gunpowder equipment, and get my rapier.
Yeah.
Oh, you do have a fancy sword.
I do
Well, he does now. Because he took the musketeer trappings. So, yeah. You're more than welcome to locate these items. And through, I don't know, some expert negotiation and hand signaling, you managed to get the rapier thrown in for free.
Would you mind if I made a searching roll to find 1 stone worth of stone?
They just have obsidian here, don't they?
Well, no, that's a roll to find
Yes.
good rock. I mean,
They-
once again, obsidian,
Yeah.
breaks.
I think to address what Griffin just said, they export obsidian, which I think means it's probably just not lying around.
Right, you could definitely buy some. I would
Well,
say you could.
Export, that means they have it in excess. It could literally just be lying around.
Well, I mean, if it's a sellable commodity that they're exporting, it seems likely that people are out gathering the shit.
That's also true. That's why I said, that's why you have to make a searching roll to find the good stuff, because the good stuff's probably already been gathered. I mean, like, if you go to a Caribbean island, they might export bananas from a banana republic. Doesn't mean you won't find a banana bush outside.
I think this is probably another problem of my own mental imagery, because in my head I'm thinking, all right, we got poor villagers, send the kids out to collect obsidian so we can turn it in for a little bit of cash to get food, that sort of thing.
Well, you're absolutely correct, because even though it might be lying around, this gets back to what we were doing in the Middle Ages with deadfall. Just because you can go in the woods and find wood there and take it home doesn't mean the locals aren't going to get mad at you saying, hey, that's our wood. I mean, obsidian might be lying around, but there might also be locals who say, hey, get your hands off that, that's ours.
So a stealth roll might be in order too.
Or what if Abla gets captured for harvesting obsidian in the King's Obsidian Field.
Well, one other thing we also didn't do that we could do while we're here is 600 is the liquid cash that they have on hand that they can actually just give you money for.
We could
There's
still
always-
barter more of this away.
There's always the possibility of barter. We could try to trade 1 ton of our expensive stuff for 1 ton of their expensive stuff. We could try to get a ton of obsidian.
We could also go ahead and offload some more of this via trade and try to equip our boat with whatever we're looking for.
Right. I mean, they would consider barter at an incredibly unfair rate because I rolled like shit.
They're very happy with it, that's for sure.
I mean, if you're like, wow, you're just giving this stuff away, aren't you?
So let's
Yeah,
see.
right.
I'm very much getting like Mountain Blade vibes now.
I'll tell you, they want the gun parts. They would do an even trade for the gun parts. They'll probably do like a 2 for 1 for everything else. For anything else.
Yeah, I think I think you didn't want to sell the guns. Is that right, boss?
I don't mind, but that's a horrible deal, so...
Oh, hey guys, I'm gonna go on an adventure. I'll be back later.
Have fun.
Good luck.
Right. Jesus.
And we will mute
Like
that on the
curse.
stream for right now. Alright.
But yeah, no, that's a bad deal. Don't do that.
Yep.
They
So,
import guns, literally. You should make...
That's why they want them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, yeah, which means that we should be getting so much more money from the deal. Or the equivalency of, because it's obviously we're bartering now for some reason. Again, this is
I mean,
why
you could be.
This is
you
why
want 'em.
I said it makes me feel like Mountain Blade, where you just show up to random towns and ruin their fucking economies. It's like,
oh yeah, I
I'm
remember doing.
just
I
waiting.
did that with butter.
I'm just waiting for us to get to the Citadel, where literally everything is, instead of dealing with these bumpkins on the side of the river.
Times 1.5. There we go. So technically, with our current ability to negotiate, we would be getting 9,000 worth of dinar in barter for dropping off the guns.
We're not doing that here.
Yeah.
Again, we can
Keeping
get
your
better
guns.
deals. Again, the Citadel, just down the river here, in this, whatever this is, it looks like a, what do you call a lake surrounded by mountains
Lake.
on one side? Is it,
I'm sure there's probably a name for it. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know
no,
what that
there's
is.
Bay.
there's literally words for everything. Specific
Not
words.
really a bay, because it is inland, right?
Yeah,
it's not like
connected by a river, but it's not directly. There's a fair amount of mileage between it and the sea. Anyway, the capital is right there. We don't need to barter with every little town going by. I'm sure the buying power of the capital, which is literally described as gold laden, is going to be fine. I say that with all the confidence of a Spanish conquistador exploring Florida.
Right. Well, we can give it our best shot.
Well, unfortunately,
have-
I believe our top negotiator has gone off on an adventure to hopefully not find their house on fire again.
Then I guess while our top negotiator is gone, I guess while we are sailing around and upriver, maybe now is the time to go ahead and see if we can recruit crew.
Actually, you know what now would be a perfect time for?
What?
A break.
break. We can do that.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do a quick break then.
It is exactly 12 here, so
Yeah, and we're
10
down
minutes?
a person, so it was a perfect.
I'll get up and I'll be right back.